Hello, and how lucky you are to be listening to Tea with Leigh, the show where we drink and spill the tea. With me, Leigh Joel Scott, famous actor. This week, I got a message in my DMs on Instagram from someone who will remain nameless, who asked me why on earth I keep begging for Conan O'Brien to be on my show. And I resent the term begging, because I have not once cried on the podcast, and it's because I was on his show 12 times. That man is charming and wonderful and took advantage of my pre-SAG-AFTRA status, and I want to do the same with him. I think he could really use a step up in his career by being on Season 2, Episode 4 of Tea with Leigh, and then asking anonymous questions to a therapist. And to be honest, the couch that the guests sit on is, I believe, built for children. And that man's 15,000 feet tall, so he'll mainly appear as a visual gag. But I do remember thoroughly having a wonderful time when I was on his show. I played, would you believe it, an arrogant nerd who was very outspoken and rudely interrupted everyone around him. Who would have ever guessed? But in this particular sketch, he was talking on stage about Comic-Con and I shouted out something horrible, I don't remember, but the visual gag was I bullied myself. In the audience, I flushed my own head down the toilet, I walked down onto the stage and threw myself into a locker. And after the director called cut, Conan looked at me and said, "That was hilarious, great job," and he shook my hand and stood quite close to me. When that man addressed me, let's tie this into his career. You know The Simpsons, the episode where the giant clown looms over a toddler version of Bart and just keeps going up and down and laughing in his face in some type of nightmarish, ghoulish fashion? That's what I dream of quite often, except it's the memory of Conan O'Brien leaning down over me and saying, "That was hilarious." Anyway, please stop interrupting. I have a show to do. I know that I've got a lot of Avatar: The Last Airbender fans out there. Oh yes, it is an incredibly touching and wholesome TV show that teaches everyone about bravery and friendship. Well, lucky for my beautiful listeners, today I've got one of the stars of the lower-rated spin-off Legend of Korra. That's right, actor Skyler Brigmann. You might also know this man from Tower of God, Tumbleleaf, and Secrets of the Silent Witch, which I have never seen, even though I'm sure it's terrific, regardless of me not even getting an audition for it. But before we start, my producer, Shannon Ryan, wanted me to remind you, and I'll read what she wrote. If you're listening to this podcast, this show is also in video form on YouTube, and it's, to quote my parents, yeah, not bad. If you're already watching it on YouTube, look at this. That's just a treat for those watching the show. But without further ado, hurry up, pop the kettle on, because we're going to have a chat with my lovely friend, Skyler Brigmann. Thank you for making all your way over here. From where did you just move in? You moved into a new apartment?
Burbank, just right next to Disney, like 3 blocks down.
Okay, well, people can find you right now, so you just gave away far too much information.
That's fine. I never said which direction. Maybe it's east.
People will find... Is it east?
It's not.
Okay, it's east for sure. So go 3 blocks east of Disney. You'll find Skyler. You'll be able to hear him, I don't know, belting out a tune in his house or something. Yeah. But you just moved in with your girlfriend.
I did.
Jenna Alvarez.
Yes.
It's very exciting that you've just moved in with your girlfriend. You've been together 2 years.
2 years, yeah.
On June 17th.
June 17th. Wow. You have I love the... I don't have what? Do you have, like, cards with, like, the facts?
I do research here
That's
on
crazy.
Tea with Leigh. I have to collect all the tea I can.
That's good.
Next up, STDs. All 6 of them.
There's only 6?
They created a 7th just for you.
Perfect.
Well done.
Nice.
It's an SSTD. It's a Skyler sexually transmitted disease.
Love that.
But you've been dating Jenna for 2 years.
Yes.
How did you meet?
We met through a dating app.
Which app?
Raya.
Raya, if you're around, give us a plug. That's our newest sponsor. Send everyone to... Wait, isn't Raya the most expensive one where you go and you can only connect with like 2 people a day or something?
No, it did cost money. It was like $20 for the month, and I wasn't gonna do it at first, but at the time I had just moved out to Burbank, and I was like, okay, let's just try it, And
I'm horny, I'm alone, and I've got expendable income.
Well,
Welcome to Raya.
well, there's also like a section of it where it's just business, where it's just like you could just meet you could just meet people, and like where they're like, oh, this person's an editor, or sound designer, or producer, or whatever, photographer.
Yeah.
And
now sleep with them.
And now, right,
Yes.
exactly. But then I met her actually fairly quickly, and at the time, both of us had kind of recently got out of relationships, and we didn't necessarily want to date, and we were very open and honest about that. So when we first met on Raya, we didn't actually meet in person for about a month.
That's a long on dating app. That is a long time.
It's a long time
because usually I wait about 7 minutes.
Yeah, but we would text all day, and then we started FaceTiming, and it got to the point where we would FaceTime for like 9 hours, 10 hours. It was like an overnight. Like I would stay up till 7 a.m.
to talk to her on the phone.
Yeah, to FaceTime.
It'd take 15 minutes to drive to her. Oh, no, she lived in San Diego.
At the time, she was in San Diego.
Well, you could have gone there 2 hours to get down there.
This is fair.
Chatted for 6, driven 2 hours back.
Yeah.
That's the whole 10 hours.
Yes, but that didn't. There was. I don't know. It did cross my mind at one point to go down and then just be like, I'm here. Like
that would have been awful,
but it would have been bad.
It would have been bad to show up at her door. She hadn't given you her address.
No,
that you found her 2 blocks east of Disney. Three. We're getting too specific. Okay.
Person you've been messaging?
I feel like that's very rom-com Love Actually style of like you see it on TV of like someone like chasing someone through the airport or whatever.
Yeah.
So in your mind you're like that's what romance is, right?
Do.
Yeah, no,
it's weird.
It's weird and it is actually a lot of it's illegal. I've found out, but don't call my lawyer.
Okay.
Because he won't even take my calls anymore. So 2 years. When was you spoke on FaceTime for 10 hours a day, which, to be quite frank, is, I think that's more than a full-time job. When did you two meet?
Well, that was around that. So we met on what would have been the 15th of June. And then, so she came up from San Diego.
So you were chatting for a month. Mm-hmm. You met on the 15th of June.
Correct.
She came up from San Diego. Mm-hmm.
And then we had our first little date, like at home, essentially. It was like, I like cooked for her and it was a horrible meal. And I'm pretty sure I gave us both food poisoning. And then she actually had a place up in Van Nuys at the time that she was renting on a month-to-month basis.
Okay.
But she wasn't there. And
she just had an empty house?
No, it was one of those things where it's like a bunch of dancers that only come up for a month or 2 at a time.
Sure.
So there's like the main owner, and then it was like, okay, hey, this room's available for this month or whatever. So she would do on a month to month, and she just wasn't up here during that time.
All right.
So then she was over there, and then the second day, I think that's when she had like the premiere for Lightyear at the time was happening at the El Capitan, and so she was invited, and so we went to that.
Very nice.
Or maybe it wasn't the premiere, but it was like something for Lightyear.
That was the high point of cinema. Did you enjoy seeing that movie with her?
It was good. Yeah, it was really good. It was fun. I honestly was nervous, and she knows this because I don't know. I didn't know, like, she's a very open and just kind person, and I thought at the time like that it would be. It was out in public, essentially, it was, and holding hands and everything. And I think we were both ready for that step, but because we had only known each other in person for 24 hours.
Sure. Oh, yeah, right.
In person, at least, like, if that was the right thing. But then it was immediately very comfortable. And then on the third day, we were just like, okay, what is this? And then started dating. And
After a month, you said, this is it. Let's lock this down. Yeah. We've had the Lightyear premiere of our relationship.
Yep.
Time to make it official.
Yeah.
Great.
Yes.
Why give your relationship a Rotten Tomatoes score 78?
78. I'll take it. That's not failing. So
it's not failing, and that's how I view most things. Sort of a pass-fail situation, and you're passing with, I'm not going to say flying colors, but passing nonetheless. So, okay, Raya, did you meet anyone else on Raya before you hung out with Jenna, or?
Oh, you're really fishing for that tea.
I'm not fishing for tea. I'm sort of dunking for secrets.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
There were matches. In fact, I was actually telling Jenna about this yesterday, but one of the hobbits, because again, it was just open.
You matched with Elijah Wood on
No.
Raya?
No.
You're determined about that. I never matched
No,
with Elijah
no.
Wood on Raya, and how dare you say that?
I just remember seeing one of the hobbits, because again, there was that business section where you could just be like, I'm looking to connect with someone who's an actor or sound designer or whatever.
Sure.
And at the time, I was really into sound, so I was trying to find sound designers, but that was far and few between.
Mm.
But I remember that there was a hobbit out in Echo Park?
You keep saying Hobbit. Are you
Hobbit.
Are you trying to say an actor who played a Hobbit, or are you
Yes,
trying to
I
be
just don't know his
offensive for
name.
short people?
No.
It's on film.
No.
Mm.
An actor who played a hobbit who I don't know his name. And I just watched the re-release in theaters.
Gee, all right. Big fan. So you're stalking a Hobbit. What are you whispering for?
I'm trying to figure out the character's name. I'm like, it's on the tip of my tongue.
Bilbo.
No, it wasn't him. Him.
He's the only one I know.
He's
I've
the
never
only one you
seen
know?
Lord of the Rings. I've never seen.
Okay, so you're thinking of the Hobbit.
What are you talking about?
Lord
You're
of the
saying one of
Rings.
the Hobbits. Isn't that...
There are hobbits in both, but there's Lord of the Rings, and then there's the Hobbit, like two separate trilogies.
Good God.
Yeah.
Okay, there's two separate trilogies. One
Yes.
of them from one of them.
Mm-hmm. Bilbo is in Lord of the Rings, but it's not Martin Freeman.
People have tuned out.
That's
People have left the show immediately. The second Lord of the Rings came out, I would have been like, can we... It feels like a sponsored ad. Can we skip
No!
this segment? Okay, so Lord of the Rings, you matched with Elijah Wood on... You certainly did.
Yes.
On Raya.
Yes.
And did you get tea?
And he said, I want you to meet this girl named Jenna.
No.
Yes. Yeah. Elijah Wood.
Elijah Wood, you matched with him on Raya.
Please
Would you please
introduce
marry
me to Jenna?
Oh,
yeah.
okay,
Well, there we
that's
go.
good too. What the hell? Prior to meeting her,
Mm-hmm.
Elijah Wood said, I want you to meet this girl named Jenna.
No! But we'll say yes.
I don't see what I've got wrong in that story. It sounds
don't-
right to me.
That's fair. We'll rewrite it.
We'll rewrite it. Okay,
Yeah.
great. So not Elijah Wood, but another one. Was it the one that was on Lost?
I never watched Lost.
Son of a bitch.
Sorry.
I don't know. Well, it was a fine show until... Well, no, it was a fine show the whole time. Do you know, I think this is the 4th episode in a row I've brought up the TV show Lost.
And no one...
I don't think anyone's seen it. You and Sweet Jenny, you're both performers, you're both actors,
Mhm.
and now you live together.
Yes.
Do you think the competition between you has skyrocketed since you are now trapped together in a cave?
No, okay. No, because I've learned a lot from her, and I'm sure she's learned a lot from me. Because, for instance, voiceover.
Yes.
That was something at the time where she would just use her Yeti in her bedroom.
Classic.
And while that did book her jobs, I don't think she really thought more beyond that. It was like, it's its own, that's voiceover, essentially.
Right.
And likewise, she's opened my eyes a lot to theatrical and actually dance, because my sister was a dancer, and I kind of grew up watching her dance, but now seeing Jenna talk about it even more, and also now being an adult, I look at dance very differently too.
How do you look at dance now? Before it was an annoying thing your sister did, and
Exactly.
now it's
And
an
now
annoying
it's
thing
like,
your girlfriend
it's
does.
it's more musical to me.
Ah.
Like the musicality of it, the rhythm, the melody, the movement, because obviously music plays a big part of my life. And now I can watch, let's say I'm watching a dance that Jenna's done.
Yes.
Even if I don't know the song, you can hear it, and you can like see. I don't have synesthesia, but like the color sometimes, where
Mhm.
it's like I think that Jenna has a very bright aura, and I think that it's very infectious, and I think that has followed into the work that I've done with voiceover to just like have fun with it. I think before I was very rigid, and this is a job, and it's professional, and you have to do the lines like this, and that they're lines,
Right.
And now, along with classes, of course, but just seeing her so happy every day, I want to do that. I want to, like, seeing her happy makes me feel like, okay, I want to be that as well, Which, likewise, then you get me where then here's a switch, is that where I'm like, yes, I want to be happy, but we need to change the trash. Like that type of
Right, so she's spinning around in the living room, having the best time of her life, and you're saying, please, Jenna, please, we have to pay rent.
Well,
I like that.
It's kind of fun because we have a now we have a in our bedroom we have like a, what do you call this, like a full body mirror. Stop it. We have a full like body mirror,
Okay.
and so there's plenty of space for her to be able to like choreograph, and that's really cool to see her just.
Okay, so no competition between you and your girlfriend, and you're inspired by what she does.
Yeah,
That's very nice.
yeah.
She inspired by what you do?
I hope so.
She sent me a text before you got here, and
That's fair.
she said she's changing the locks, but she's got her thing. You've got yours. There's also the combo of theatrical in between. You've got that shared love, but you have been acting for years now. You had a lot of work as a kid, and you're getting a lot of work now, which is delightful. Look, we'll put the manifestation meditation out there. Getting a lot of work now. I have a lot of work. Dear God, give me work.
Yes.
I'll send that to every casting director I know who hasn't blocked me.
Oh, God. Have you ever been blocked by a...
So,
yes.
as an actor...
I love that.
It's a similar story to just showing up at someone's house.
Yes.
But it doesn't matter.
But instead it was the...
It was the office. I kicked down the door.
Oh, it was just the office.
Cast me. When did you start acting? You said soccer was really important to you, but...
Yeah, 6 or 7.
What'd you do, like theater classes and stuff, little drama classes?
This is when I lived in Missouri at the time.
Ugh, don't admit that.
I know. So I lived in Missouri until 8 years old, and I did about 2 years of like theater out there. And then when my family moved here, my dad's profession had got him out here, and obviously we came with him. And then my sister was the one who, anything she did, I did. So if she did gymnastics, I did gymnastics till I got a black eye. When
Did you get in a fight with someone?
No, I did a front flip and landed on my butt, and then my head went into my knee.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I've broken my tailbone. I've broken my ankle. I've actually kind of injured myself a lot.
All from gymnastics?
No, that just the one. That was just the one.
Just the black eye from gym. Okay,
yes.
Great.
But she was doing acting classes and then modeling at the time, and she quickly decided that was not her thing.
Oh.
But I ended up really enjoying it.
Modeling?
No.
Oh.
Acting. And I actually had done like a go to New York when I was living in Missouri. It was like a go to New York and showcase in front of all these managers and agents, and then come to LA, if you're good enough, if you're signed. Basically all it was that you would go in front of a let's say 50 agents or managers, and you would perform your monologue. And
at 8 years old, you flew to New York to do a monologue?
At that point, I was like 6 or 7.
Good God.
Yeah. Yeah. And I want to make it clear, too, that my parents were never like, you got to do this and like, you're going to make us money. It was like...
And they've told you to say that, which is great.
No, it was very, very much like, is this something you want to do? Yes? Okay. We'll make it happen. And that comes in later on because... So I go to New York, I meet this person, and and they were like, oh, we'd love for him to come out to LA. And I was like, I don't know. And then we ended up coming out to LA anyways for my dad's work. And so then my sister Ariel started getting into acting and modeling, and I remember my parents being like, oh, there was that manager. Let's give him a call. Give them a call.
Do you know what we're going to do?
What's up?
We're going to give him a name.
Yes!
And that's why we have the name wheel. Baby, this is the point of the name wheel. You love people, you love talking about people, but you don't want them to know it's them. The name wheel. All right, shall we?
Yes.
Let's give this manager a name. This manager's name is...
Spin to win.
Spin to win. Well, you won. You won this name, Regina Bypass. Your manager, Regina Bypass.
So Regina basically did
from
the class...
New York. Loved
from
you as
New
an
York.
8-year-old. Great.
From New York... Yeah, so Regina basically said, yeah, I'll take you, but I'm only going to put you with this one agency, which was fine and theatrical, and that was okay. But you're never going to do voiceover. You're never going to do commercials and things like that.
What, as an 8-year-old, this Regina's sitting you down saying, here's what you're not going to do.
Basically.
What?
Because what happened is that I had a fairly thick Southern accent, and I had a lisp. And so...
Oh, God, you're a cartoon character. You were a
that's
little
the thing,
cartoon
but we're
character.
talking 2007.
Hey, fellers.
Literally.
Welcome.
I wish. And I loved... I remember playing, Super Smash Bros. With my neighbors, and, I would pause the game.
Mm-hmm.
And then you could like press, at least on the Wii, you press the plus button, and it would go in between each. Or no, that was the pause. Anyway, you could go in between each character, and they'd be like, or whatever.
Okay.
And I would do a different voice for each one. So
Mhm.
I and kind of create a story, and then unpause and pause again. And I think a lot of kids did that. I hope.
I've literally never heard of a single other human being. What
Maybe
was
it's
it?
just a Missouri thing. So
Yeah,
long
maybe
story,
it's just a little Missouri thing.
basically. And so I ended up taking speech therapy to not have it anymore, and I strived to be like super like SoCal. Like I really wanted to be like super SoCal. Like
Like to
I've
the
never
beach,
surfed,
bro,
but like
sick.
I know the fucking waves. All right.
Yeah. I'm a grommet, dude. I think
Yeah,
I
dude.
know a thing or two, dude.
And so I really strived for that, and I think nowadays I've got it. Like I don't have that accent anymore.
Oh, if I could hear a southern accent on you, I wouldn't have spoken to you. I wouldn't have come
Very
near
fair.
you.
Very fair.
God,
well,
no.
the only thing that I've retained since then is a stutter. So when I get
You have a stutter?
anxious, I have a hard time. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. But long story short,
I strive to make my guests uncomfortable. You
Thank
haven't
you.
stuttered once.
Yeah.
Damn, I need to work harder.
yes, no, it
Okay.
happens. So the manager basically said, "You're not good enough," essentially. So that was the point of the speech therapy and stuff. And then
What?
I ended up dropping that manager.
Regina saw you,
Mhm.
said, "You're perfect. Come to Los Angeles." And the
Yeah.
second you landed, said, "Okay, you're stupid.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
sound
yeah, yeah.
stupid. You look stupid. You're stupid.
Yeah, basically.
Now get out there and win it."
Make me some money. So we being my parents and I, mostly my parents, that this was a bad deal. And after I think 2 years, moved on. And then eventually, skip forward to, I think it was like 7th grade for me. Booked my first voiceover, which was for the San Diego Zoo, the Wild Safari Park.
Oh, beautiful. Were you an animal with a southern accent and a lisp?
I
or
wish.
Come on.
It was like a roller coaster type of like high energy, very like teenage son,
Fun kid.
fun kid.
Great.
And my family was so excited that we ended up going down to San Diego because I was
You
told I
had
was
to-
never
you
going to be
had
able to
to
do
live
this, And then after that, it was like roller coaster project after roller coaster project. It was Legoland, it was Cedar Fair, it was Clear Mobile, like all radio commercials and things like that.
You
But
were
it
the
was
roller coaster kid.
But literally, that was the name of I think the Clear Mobile.
That's
role.
crazy.
It was like everything after that was all roller coasters, everything. So summertime was a really great time, or spring leading into it, and then after like years, maybe like 2 years, 2.5 years of auditioning fairly consistently within voiceover, finally booked my first animation, which was Legend of Korra, and then.
Oh, we have a lot of Korra chat to get to.
Okay,
we have
that's
a lot
fine.
of Korra chat to get to. But I can't believe that Regina must be kicking themselves. What an idiot.
Yeah.
What a crazy thing to do. There's a lot of people in this industry who are absolutely twisted.
Yeah.
And especially when there's like, young people from out of town get off the bus and they see Hollywood really excited, and then they see Hollywood Boulevard and get their own STD. They're just seen as like fresh meat for some of these scammers. It's crazy.
Well, it's super hard because I've met people now that I'm a little bit older. I've met people who have come here a year or two ago who are closer than not to my age.
Yeah.
And I try to tell them, listen.
Be careful.
Essentially, it's like, I'm not saying that this is going to happen to you, but just be aware that these things happen.
Oh,
and that you can waste a couple of years essentially trying to make it high on someone's roster, or Timothy Chalamet or someone who's
looks like me.
Exactly.
Yes.
But they're really hot, but they don't want you to compete. They'll sign you, so that
So they can hide you away.
essentially
They can Quasimodo you in the bell
Kinda.
tower.
And I don't know. Listen, I don't know. I'm not going to say that anyone does that.
Jesus.
Like I
yes.
want to refrain. I want to. Yeah, and also Timothy Chalamet. Who knows? With that.
No. It's 100%.
But I have heard things like that where it's kind of like, oh man, they signed me, but I didn't look at their roster prior, and their roster, they have 3 people that look like me, and they have better credits, or they happen to know people, and because of that, I just don't get set out as much. You know what I mean?
That is
So that's something that I've heard. But
business
again,
can be a bit nasty.
oh
A
yeah,
little bit wicked.
you have to be very like okay with seeing someone who looks or sounds like you, but maybe is 2 inches taller, and that gets in your head. or a little bit stronger or whatever.
I've never met anyone taller than me, so I don't know
I
what
believe
that's
that.
like.
I
I
believe
don't know what
that.
that's like.
Yeah.
Not anyone that looks like me, anyway.
Yeah. Good thing this is a sit-down podcast.
Yeah, it's for the best.
Yeah.
And even then, I'm sitting on 4 phone books, so it feels good.
Yeah.
Okay, don't count them.
My
Let's
bad.
Calm yourself, Skyler. So you came out here, you got repped, which is very, very exciting. You started booking some wonderful stuff. In fact, I have your IMDb here. Huh?
That's great.
Pretty
I
clever.
love that.
For Skyler Brigmann.
Do you know what that means?
Brigmann?
Mhm. Take a guess.
Brigmann. A man who works on a brig.
Yep.
Brig is like on a ship.
Yep.
A pirate.
A sailor. That was good.
Skyler Sailor.
And do you know what Skyler means?
Sky. Someone who works for the skies. A pilot.
It means like scholar, like student.
Oh, the sailor scholar. The smartest sailor in the world.
There we go.
Wow. You
Yeah.
clever little boatsman. You smart little seaman. Good for you. That's what you should actually rename to be.
Yeah.
IMDb's very own smart seaman. So, Sky... Cut it.
Keep it.
Sky... Seaman, you have worked on some wonderful things. You've already mentioned Criminal Minds, which is very cool. We've got Tower of God, which is quite popular at the moment. We've got Tumble Leaf, which we'll talk about, and everyone's favorite, Legend of Korra.
Mhm.
What an incredible first big voiceover thing to get is
And I didn't
Legend
know
of Korra.
I didn't know it.
You didn't know Avatar before that? What's going on, Skylar?
Here's the thing. My experience with Avatar prior to that callback
Uh-huh.
was my good friend was having a sleepover back in the day with like 15 like soccer buddies and things like that.
Sure.
And the finale of Avatar was playing.
Oh.
And they basically said that anyone that fell asleep early that they would draw Sharpie on, and I did not want to be the one to be drawn on. So I was the second to last to fall asleep. So I watched the full finale before watching anything prior.
Okay.
And I hope that no one, gets on me for that. But then I ended up watching it again, especially when COVID came around and I was just binging everything and anything. I was like, okay, obviously I want to watch this.
But you were like, what, 9? 8?
When I did Korra,
Yeah.
I was like 12.
12. You were the target market for Avatar. What were you watching when you were a kid?
I did.
Were you watching
I did watch
cartoons?
episodes of Avatar, but I did not know enough to be like, this is the story.
Mm.
In fact, I have a clear, vivid memory of me asking my mom. She was like outside gardening or something like that, and I was like looking at a rock, like trying to move it, and I was like, "Mom, like I think I'm an earthbender, like I think, or an airbender or whatever. Do you think that I am?" And parents can be good liars. Like she looked at me and she was like, "Yeah, of course."
Wow.
And I spent like 30 minutes trying to move that rock.
Meanwhile, she's inside dialing 911.
Meanwhile, it gave her time to go do whatever she, right? She
left-
was like, yeah. He's staying in one place. He's not breaking any more bones. He's fine.
It's a good way to distract your son.
Exactly.
Move the rock with your mind, sweetheart.
Yes.
Mama's going to get a drink.
Anyway, so then, yes, but I did end up watching the series and obviously loved it.
Well, legally you have to say that. But
No, you do not.
What do you think was better, Legend of Korra or Avatar?
That is weird. You are just asking the hard-hitting. I think they're two very different shows.
They are very different.
Very
shows,
different.
actually. That's very politically correct.
It's something that's actually super interesting. That's very nostalgic about Avatar and about other shows around that time. That at the time I was in film school and I watched Avatar first before Legend of Korra, and that's something that's like a very nostalgic thing that we don't think about is 4:3, like the ratio 4:3.
Oh yeah,
There's a lot of shows on Netflix or whatever that have that 4:3, and it immediately transports you and makes it feel. Drake and Josh was another one that I was watching with Jenna, and we were kind of like, oh whoa, like that's
Look at this square.
exactly, and you don't think about it because as a kid there's the square.
You didn't watch Avatar when you were a kid, and you ended up in Legend of Korra, which is very exciting. Do you remember the first day on set in this big animated show? Well, not on set, in the booth. Do you remember?
Absolutely, because this is what I mean that I didn't fully appreciate it as a kid. because
12.
yeah,
Yeah.
and I had been on sets at this point, and I had worked with some really cool people. So for me, it was just another day. Like my parents always treated it like it was a privilege, which it was. So in order to audition, in order to be on set, I had to have finished my work and I had to have maintained a certain level of grades. So for me, it
Wow.
was like this is the fun. This is the reward essentially. But I didn't think of it as a job or anything like that. So when I showed up to Nickelodeon, I cared more that I think they cared like Corner Bakery or something like that. Like I was way more enthused about the cake and the food than I was about like who was across the table or not.
Sure.
But we did a table read and that was super, super fun. And then we did an
You did a
ensemble
table read?
Yeah, for the start of season 3. And then
Wow.
yeah, it was awesome. And then we did
JK Simmons and
yeah, well, yeah. I mean, essentially, everyone was there. And
wow.
and
You don't get that a lot
you
now.
don't no. And then we did an ensemble recording, and my very first session director was Andrea Romano.
Wow,
and
that's incredible.
I didn't know, like at the time
Well,
who she
yeah,
was or anything.
yeah.
I just thought she was a very sweet woman who, and this was the big kicker. I talked about people that support you, right?
Mm.
She was the first director on camera or off, on NVO that asked me what I thought in terms of it was a collaborative effort. On camera, a lot of times it was, oh, that was great. Okay, so now let's try it this way. Or you're doing a great job, buddy.
Right.
That type of thing. But Andrea would be like, so what are you thinking? Or can you give me like 3? Like it was, and I know that's a very common VO thing, but it was the first time where I was questioned about the character and about the space and
What your thoughts were
well, my thoughts
as
were,
character on
and
the-
when Janet Varney's doing her thing and Dave Faustino's doing his thing, and you're in the booth or Kieran Shipka, like we're all in the booth.
Yeah.
And later on we ended up doing like individual recordings, especially for myself. I'm assuming because being a kid and having to get out of school and the teacher and things like that. I'm sure that
Well,
played
also
into it.
because whatever you answered to Andrea, she went, absolutely fucking not. This guy is a clown.
Exactly.
Get him on his own. Get him away. He's bad vibes for
Recast.
Nickelodeon. Yeah, get rid of him.
But it was such a treat that I didn't realize was a treat. And
But you realize now.
I realize now. And I
Yeah.
actually, weirdly enough, just took a 2-day workshop with Andrea last week.
Really?
And I got to basically tell her how much she means to me in terms of VO. She's retired at this point, obviously, but
And she said, who are you?
well, she's worked with so many people that I wouldn't have anticipated that she knew who I was, and I don't think she did.
She remembered you.
but-
It was a
but-
massive show.
But at the same time, it was awesome seeing her because never once did I feel like I was the kid on set, even though of course I was. It felt like here's a collaborative, creative person.
Mm.
And that carried on into high school when I basically kind of took a step away from acting. That's how I approach projects. What am I feeling? What am I, doing here and all that good stuff. Like that carried on, and then obviously into college and then into now. And I owe that to Andrea because that was a lesson that I didn't know. I mean, I've seen D. Baker do his creature, like,
Yep.
and at the time, again, you just don't know, like, how cool that is.
Mhm.
You just think like, oh, that's fun.
Oh, there's a guy doing a cool
Exactly.
thing with his mouth.
And
Ooh.
incredibly kind. Man, like everyone. There was not a single person that I was like, oh, that person. Every single person was
I found a
really,
bunch of
really
these
kind.
legacy characters, essentially. Him, Rob Paulson, Maurice LaMarche, these one, Tress McNeil. All these
Yeah.
people are just the kindest, warmest, most welcoming human beings to you.
I have a tea story about Rob Paulson.
Oh, I love it. Can we say his name?
Yes,
Or do we have to spin something?
Yeah.
Rob Paulson hit my car. No.
So Jenna and I were we go to Urbane Cafe a lot. Shout out. They're
They're our sponsor. Thanks,
they're-
Urbane.
We walk in and I see Rob Paulson, and he's on a Zoom or some sort of meeting
He's on a Zoom in a cafe?
at Starbucks. Yeah,
Rob,
Stop.
what are you doing? Go home.
He was not. He wasn't like loud or anything, but he was. It turns out he was coaching someone like in Chicago. Long story short, I'm freaking out. I don't get starstruck.
Mm.
I've met some cool people, but voice actors or
Yep.
musicians, holy shit! Like
It's crazy to see him.
yeah.
Oh, crazy to see him.
And I literally like my rash was coming through. You
Yep.
know. Anyway, so long story short, we get the gift card, and I told Jenna, I was like, "You know who that is?" And she was like,
Just a
"No."
guy?
Yeah, exactly. And I said, "That's Rob Paulson." I was like, and then I explained, and she was like, "Well, go say hi."
Pinky and the Brain.
Yeah,
And
everything.
everything is on
And-
Rick and Morty's all over the place.
Yeah,
and
Carl
he's been
was
it
like-
for years. Yeah, Carl Weezer.
And so I decided to write down on my, I think it was like my phone, just like on my notes app, like, "Hey, love your work." Like that was it, just to be able to say, I told him, I don't need to talk to him. He's in a meeting. I build up the courage. I walk around the corner. As I walk around the corner, he's on the Zoom. "Okay, bye. It was great talking to you." Takes off his headphones, looks at me. I froze.
Oh my God. I just froze.
I
You're
froze.
reenacting it. And I'm
And-
like,
And I just went, "Robbie, I'm a big fan. I love your work, and I went to go shake his hand. He gets up and he was like, "Oh, I thought you were the IRS," in the middle of the Starbucks, and then proceeds to talk to us for like 10 minutes
Oh,
about how wonderful it is that we get to do what we do. At the time, Jenna had just booked her first animation series, and so she got to tell him about it, and he was like, "Good for you." And he was like, "I just got out of a session with quite a few people, like Tom Kenny and the likes."
Mm.
And Jenna had actually worked with one of them on camera for something prior, so they got to
Cool.
kind of bond over that.
yeah.
And it was so cool because I got to tell him like, "Yeah, I did this animated series, and I just did my first video game, and wow, like it's so lovely to meet you, and I listen to Talking Tunes, which is
Oh,
hip hop."
great podcast.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
And so, and he couldn't have been nicer, but he was drinking tea.
What a good man. That is a tea
So,
story.
that is a
Okay,
tea story.
I was expecting he maybe stole your wallet or
No,
gave
he-
you another black eye.
and
Who knows?
and he it was really cool because I've heard this on Talking Tunes and the likes, but he basically kind of gave that advice of, it is a privilege, and you don't know how you impact someone's life. I have received messages from Korra fans, or I, for instance, didn't get to see my cousins growing up very much because they lived in Missouri and I lived here, and I would go back every 5 to 6 years, maybe 8 years type thing. So I didn't see them very often. And one of my cousins ended up having a couple of children, and I didn't get to see them grow up through through their babyhood or
Sure.
whatever it's called. And
The crying stage.
the crying stage.
Yeah, stuck away.
Yeah. And they watch Tumbleleaf. And I have seen videos of them watching
Come
Tumbleleaf.
on.
And they don't, at this point, they know me a little bit better, and we've shared more messages. But I can say that in some very small way that I've been able to kind of interact with them in that way, that was not a plan as a 13-year-old in high school when I booked Tumbleleaf.
Goodness me.
I did it because I booked it because I just went into the office of Abrams at the time and just recorded a audition.
Sure.
And to this day, my sister, I'm about to be an uncle in about a month and a half.
Congrats.
Thank you. It's not about me, but the thing that is very exciting about it is I'm excited to be there for that little girl, and to not like, "Oh, she has to watch Korra, she has to watch Tumbleleaf."
No. When
But-
she's born, buy her the DVDs and say
But
congrats.
it
That's
is cool to be like, if she ends up showing interest in the Avatar universe,
Yeah.
or happens to like Tumbleleaf, I can be like, "That's me. Like, that's your uncle."
That's
know,
me
And-
right
and
there.
how that is a gift, that you
Mm.
are given. And Rob says something that I think is very, very true, which is, you don't own the characters in terms of, if they were to make another Korra series and another person is Kai, or Tumbleleaf, another person is Buckeye, great, because then hopefully they get to feel what I felt. You know what I mean?
Mm.
I'm going off and doing my own thing. It's.
Well, that's very nice for you, but if anyone recasts me in something, I swear
I'm not
to
saying I
God,
want to get
I'll
recast.
find out who it is, I will come to your house, and I will let Skyler knock on your door and beat you to death.
Well, there was someone. Okay, I got an audition recently where I've never seen this before, but they said, "We're looking to offer this job to these 6 people."
Oh.
But
And the email's just going, ha ha.
but we want to offer possible different selects to the director.
Okay.
So still send them in. And I recognized one of the people actually by their voice first. And then I thought, oh, that kind of sounds like insert name here. And then I looked at then I finally read the full email,
Hmm.
and I was like, oh shoot, that is the person I was thinking of, and I was thinking about messaging them and being like, hey, did you know that?
Did you
this-
message them?
I haven't. I was a little nervous.
Why?
I don't know. I've never done that before. Like,
Do you know this person?
Yeah.
Well, then
I'll message them after this. Then
you'd best message them after this, or
yeah.
I'll be furious.
because I want them to book this job. Because if you're being considered, I would assume that the agent has reached out to them.
Why?
You know what I
I'd
mean?
assume so.
But yeah, that was a weird thing because Rob has talked about that where it's like when they were trying to recast Simpsons, and do you send in a tape? Do you
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. Much like, things get recast all the time, the voice acting world, you've been lucky to have some incredible characters. That
Thank you,
portly Buckeye, which I really enjoy, what a party animal. Which, for those who don't know, Tumbleleaf is a claymation
Mhm.
show on, Amazon or something?
Mhm.
It's
Yeah,
a
like
great
Prime
show.
series. Yeah.
Yeah, really lovely show. Very peaceful, very like Amazon's Bluey type show. Very
yeah,
good.
that's a good.
And Skyler plays Buckeye, who is a very portly beaver. We've also got Legend of Korra. You've got lovely Kai, but not everything goes well in casting. Not everything.
More often than not.
Yeah, once you've booked something, you can get recast, or the show can be cut,
Yeah.
or the lines can be cut.
Yeah.
And there is a large company that everyone would know, which we won't name, and you were on track to join that universe,
Mhm.
and you can book something, and then things can change. What happened?
Very quickly too. So this was the transition from 17 to 18, which
Oh, a lot of voice cracking
Transition.
business?
no. I just mean like life. I was getting ready to go to college at the time, and my mom knew that I would get anxious with callbacks, or just in general, and so she didn't tell me what this callback was for. She just drove me, and I was very ignorant to just acting in like I would do that. I would just show up, and prefer cold read. Like looking back at it,
What?
horrible process.
You just show up and do cold reads at these?
Yes.
Like your mum would hide scripts from
no.
you? What is
She
going on?
would try to get me to memorize them,
And you wouldn't do
and
it?
I would not.
You'd go, I'll wing it.
Yeah.
Okay, Legend of Korra went straight to his head.
No,
Right,
no.
Yeah,
Legend of Korra was great because it was just a monologue. And I wish that there was more monologues with auditions because I think there's a lot to play with. Long story short,
Yeah.
this other gig, I thought it was destiny because I was like the casting director had their name was in relation to something that I was going to be doing later on in college, and I just thought, okay, like when you're like, oh my god, I received the email at 11:27, and you just find the reason
The stars
that-
are aligned. This
exactly
is perfect for me.
So I felt that
Their name is Sarah Engineering, and that's what I'm gonna study.
literally,
Yeah.
and exactly, and so sometimes that unearned confidence is actually good because you just go in confident.
That's the whole point of this podcast. Is
Yes,
my unearned
confidence. Unearned confidence with Leigh. Long story short, we arrive, and I won't say this company, but they have a very notable look.
Yeah.
And so we pull into the studios, and I hadn't been there yet, ever in my life. And I turned to my mom, and I said, "What is this for?" And she said, "Well, it's a feature film." And I was like, "Oh, okay, but the logo." She
Yeah,
was like, "Yeah,
it's that company.
it's that company."
Yeah.
And I said, "Oh!" I started freaking out. I
Oh,
was sweating
no.
like crazy.
Oh no.
And then I get inside, and there's two other kids there, and they were much younger, much younger. And I want to say I recognized one of them at the time because you just see people in auditions and things like that.
Sure. You see your type across the board.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so I was getting really nervous. So I go into the audition room, and the audition room was literally this. It was
A
casting
very
director there.
handsome person.
Exactly.
Looking
It was
at you.
literally Leigh.
Yes.
So it was, drawings and things everywhere. And it was super cool. And there was a desk, and there was an iPad on the desk. And this casting director just pressed record and said, "Let's just have a conversation." That was the callback.
That was the callback?
Let's
Was a chit chat?
was a chit chat. And then we did read some lines. that they gave me, kind of essentially as a cold read, just like,
Sure.
hey, just read this.
Well, good thing
And
you love a
that-
cold read.
Exactly, right?
Mm.
And so, long story short, I get out of that and I was like, okay, well, I don't know what the heck that was because I've never done a voiceover on an iPad, or I've never done this interview style of
This meet and greet type
exactly,
audition.
and
Because it happens with on camera sometimes, like brought in, especially if it's like
Right.
personality
it's
based.
like that general. I thought that whatever's, and it ended up going great. Very quickly, that project. I think there's creative differences, is what we'll say.
But you booked it.
It didn't get to the point. It was like, essentially, yes. Essentially, but it wasn't allowed to be like announced or anything like that.
They were still keeping the excitement under wraps.
Exactly. It was negotiations and contracts, and then the project fell through. Disappeared. And
oh god.
you know what's funny is that that's like the 4th time that's happened. So it really wasn't that was the biggest, if you will. But that happened I'll say whatever company.
Sure.
There was a pilot that was supposed to be essentially in contention with a very famous comedy show at the time that had just started, and I booked it. Booked the pilot, signing contracts
For like a different company's knockoff of like Will and Grace or something. There's a different show.
Exactly.
Right.
This was their answer, their competition for that show.
Instead of Friends, they released Buddies.
Exactly.
You,
Right.
You
exactly.
were cast on Buddies.
I was literally Buddy.
You would have been a great Buddy, by the way.
Thank you.
I think we can all agree you should have been Buddy. Which you did. You booked it. Congrats.
Thank you. So I booked it, and then as we're going to do the contracts and everything back in the day, fell through. Because they wanted to rewrite the whole series. Something happened. I don't know what. But something happened where,
And you'd signed contracts. Everything was like set.
Yes. And so there's that. And then there was another show where it was already a recurring kind of like a procedural where I was supposed to be it's not like a series regular. It was like, when you're on for like 7 episodes.
Oh, yeah.
And
Like a recurring guest.
a recurring guest star. There you go. Yeah.
Like the constant villain in an SVU, like
Exactly.
6-episode thing.
Although I was not a villain. Imagine that at like 10 years old.
I can imagine that. A
I
10-year-old
can too.
villain.
Hey, fellers, I'm going to kill you.
No way. So
This is a hostage negotiation.
So
I love that.
I booked that, and then same thing. They ended up rewriting that season, and so I was okay with it because I knew that there was nothing that I could do.
It kept happening, and it keeps happening.
Exactly, and even now, like actually, in the past since 2021, I've done I think 650 auditions, something like that.
650. Have you got like a spreadsheet? Do you calculate these?
I do.
Good Lord.
I've only booked 3 times.
3 out of 650?
Mhm.
Let's up
And
those
one of the
numbers.
and one of I wish.
Let's up them.
And one of them wasn't even actually from the agency. It was from a referral. So I say that because I actually booked a VO commercial this week, which was my first one in a while.
Congrats.
But at the same time, thank you.
We signed the contract, and they cut me.
At the same time, it's a demo rate. And
Oh, God.
and if it goes through, which I'm fine with.
Sure.
I'm cool with that. I booked it. I'm excited about that. But now it's also, I don't even know if it's going to run, So there's that aspect of it. Yesterday, I had my first callback for a video game ever.
Hey,
which was
congratulations.
super fun. Thank you. And I feel like now it's starting to whatevers, but I'm very comfortable with saying that I've gone on these 650 auditions and I've gotten loads and loads of callbacks, primarily for on camera. But it just, yeah. So it's like we can say Korra or Tumbleleaf or whatever.
Yeah.
But the truth of the matter is that it's not like I'm booking like the Rob Paulsons or the Roger Craig Smiths or the Tress McDaniel, And I only say that to be able to say like, shit happens.
Oh, shit happens all the time.
You know what I mean?
Your job, I keep being told, by casting directors and things and coaches and stuff, your job is to audition.
Mhm.
And if that's true, then good God, we are on a 40-hour week.
Yeah.
We are committed to that. I've had so many callbacks for another kids company that's very big. I have had callbacks for lead roles in series 17 times. And at this point, I'm like, you guys just like hanging out, which
Yeah,
is
yeah.
fun, and I'm so grateful for it. And I'm like, you know what? It's difficult because the trajectory is like, cool, that's excitement, and then moment of bitterness, and then the release of that is like, this is our job, this is fun, and also at some point something's gonna give.
Yeah.
It's just you just have to do those 650 auditions. That
Yeah.
part of it. A lot of people, I know people that have come to town and stuck it out for a year and gone, oh, I didn't make it, I'm leaving.
Yeah.
I'm like, mate, I've been here for 9.
Mhm.
I'll kill you. And I will kill a man.
I'd like to see that. Actually, I wouldn't, but I would.
Well, you heard it here first. He encourages murder. But even when you book something,
Mhm.
you sign contracts, it can go away.
Yeah.
Even if you're on set, you record it and shoot it, it can go away.
Yeah.
Years ago, in what was it called? The pandemic. That's what it was called. In the pandemic, I booked an animated show.
Oh?
I booked an animated show. In fact, it was an offer, which was very exciting for me from a director I'd worked with before.
Mhm.
Lovely, lovely man named Wes, and he and can I say his real? Yeah, I can say his real name. He does nothing wrong.
Oh.
So I booked this show, and it was an offer from a director I'd worked with before named Wes, who I love very, very much. A very, very nice man, one of the most talented directors I've ever met. But he called me in for this show. I recorded 4 or 5 lines, and one of those like big chunks of lines, I played 6 different characters or something, 5 or 6, and
Nice.
one of these chunks of characters was set at a funeral. And in the script, the character falls through it's a dream sequence. She falls through these ribbons, ends up at a funeral. That's a bunch of my stuff. And then she wakes up with a start.
Yeah.
Because she's had this horrible night. And the show came out really recently.
Mm.
In fact, I was so excited to see it pop up. I went, it's been 4 years now. And I sat with my boyfriend Dexter and I said, we're going to watch this show. I've got the scripts in front of me. I'm in these 2 episodes. The first one, I'm a college student. I shout out something. And we watched that episode and we rewound that scene about 3 times. And I went, oh, they've changed her line. And so my line didn't make sense. So my character was cut. And I went, it's fine. It was only 1 or 2 lines. My main characters are all at this funeral scene. So I was like, we go to the next episode. I fast forward to, because they're 45-minute episodes, and I'm not sitting through that. Sorry, Wes. It's about me. And so we skip through, in case you can't tell, skip through the whole episode. And I went, I didn't sort of see the funeral thing. Let's go again. And I stopped, and I was like, oh, there she is. She's falling asleep. And there's the red ribbon bit. Yes. Her lover is dead. Oh, good. They're about to land through. There we go. We fall through the ribbon. And she woke up from the nightmare.
Yeah.
The whole funeral scene was cut.
Yeah.
And so what I did, which is quite funny, we'll get a shot of it afterwards, was before the show came out, it was announced with celebrities in it. You've got Gerard Butler, you've got Michelle Yeoh, you've got Vin Diesel, and Leigh Scott, famous actor. What an exciting cast. And so I, as you can attest, printed the poster for Arc the Animated Series and put it on my wall, only to find out I have been cut from the program. All my characters are dead.
But the thing is that, and this is the important bit, is that you don't know why.
Oh, you don't know why.
know why.
You never know. You have no control over it. Everyone and anyone, and just keep auditioning.
Yeah.
It's
Well, and
keep
again,
going.
you did book it. It's not like you didn't. And those people that make those projects, they make other projects.
Yeah.
And as long as you're a good person to work with, I think that people would want to work with you again.
There's the problem. I'm a horrible man. But I want to talk about, look, we've talked about wonderful things and also, being cut from things and stuff. But I want to talk about, honestly, it was the only thing I could come up with, a nice cup of jasmine tea, which is what Uncle Iroh's favorite tea was in Avatar.
Wow, okay.
And you were in the sequel. I couldn't come up with Korra Lee tea. I couldn't Korra tea. I don't know. I couldn't come up with a pun enough, so I just referenced a show that you weren't in. You're welcome.
There's many.
Oh, God, we could do a lot. Maybe even some shows that you were cut from. But Kai, beautiful young Kai.
Yeah.
What a lovely character.
Thank you.
What a wicked naughty boy he is.
Little bit. Little thief.
He's a little thief.
Mm.
But that leads me to my first question. Have you ever stolen anything? Even as a kid, you ever nicked
good
something
question.
from a shop? He's trying to decide whether or not he wants to go to jail.
No.
Skyler's calculating the
I do
statute
have
of
a-
limitations.
But it's not me.
What? It was my alter ego.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Did I ever steal anything?
God, you're a good boy.
No, or just very forgetful.
Either that or you're just in denial.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, my credit card's in your pocket, and I don't know how it got there, Skyler. You son of a bitch. Kai, in the show, goes to something of a training prison.
Mm-hmm.
He's in jail.
Yes.
Seeing as though you've not stolen anything, have you ever done anything to get arrested?
Yes.
What have you done? Have you really? You can't even...
I've always been the friend to get us out of things, though.
Oh, sort of... And we're back. Okay, a lot of things Skyler just said do lead me to believe he is someone who's changed his identity 3 or 4 times.
Yes.
No wonder he's an expert at changing his accents and leaving the place, because he's actually 2 Chinese women standing on each other's shoulders in a big overcoat. But we'll never know.
So I was driving a car, and my friend and I really love to longboard, essentially, try to go as fast as we could. And that's a whole story in itself, broken bones and all that stuff. Yeah. But I would drive my car down this strip of road that was not really occupied very often, not very busy.
Little back street
Little
somewhere.
back streets, if you will. Yeah. And he would hang on to the side, and I would...
On his longboard.
On his longboard.
Uh-huh.
And I would not floor it, but I would go a little fast. How fast is a little fast, Skyler? I think the highest we got was 48 miles an hour, or 47.
That's almost freeway.
No. That's like 20 more miles an hour. 65.
Yeah, but 50 to 60, there's no... Okay, Skyler, so there's a human being on a board.
Yes, no. And mind you, it was very dumb decision. I was in high school at the time, and no one got hurt. Not a single person got hurt.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just glad we never got caught for that, because it was a dumb decision, and I don't recommend anyone do it.
Don't recommend anyone have
a dumb kid.
A really cool, fun time.
No.
So in this program, in Legend of Korra, you're trapped in this place. She comes to save you as a little like Star Wars ghost girl.
Yes.
And she eventually comes in, and you run off and you get in a fight as you leave. Have you ever been in a physical fight?
Yes.
What did you do? You?
Yeah.
I gotta tell you, you look like you've walked off the cast of the Book of Mormon, and you're just the nicest young...
That's a compliment. I'll take it.
Yes.
I'll take it.
Yes, you're a very put together, sensible, haircut, polite, white young man, and suddenly you're getting in trouble with the law, and you're hiking mountains, getting trapped. And...
I don't...
Getting in bar fights?
I think I don't really lose my cool ever, unless it's family. So my sister had just got a concussion. She was in 4th grade. I was in 1st grade.
You gave her the concussion?
No. She, her name's Ariel, and so she was doing the mermaid move in the pool, jumped in, hit her head. Yeah, ended up like going colorblind because of it. It's a whole story. Isn't that crazy? Because it like hit the part of her brain that like yeah, crazy.
Yeah, that's excellent. She went colorblind because as a mermaid she knocked her noggin.
Yeah, and guess what she does now?
Swim?
Photo retouching, primarily in color.
How?
It's science.
She just guesses.
Yeah, exactly. She's like, oh, that's good. And people are so scared to say, no.
Yeah, they just have to be polite to the poor mermaid who's colorblind.
She's really incredible at her job. But long story short, she had just had this injury.
Mm-hmm.
And in Missouri, I don't really see it here, but you have like the guy on the bike with the mail that like throws the mail at the driveway.
Like a classic Middle America postman.
Yes,
yes.
Exactly, which we were in Middle America. And I want nameless kid. No. He doesn't get one.
Oh my, if I had pearls, I'd be clutching them.
Woo!
I've never had someone not... because he's that bad.
Yeah.
Oh,
Doesn't
good.
deserve it.
Oh, I like this color on you.
Yeah. And he basically was swinging it around, being a kid, threw it at her, hit her in the head. She hits the ground. I was in first grade, and I thought she died. In my head, here's my sister that just got out of a head injury.
Mm-hmm.
She's on the ground, barely moving. Oh my God, she died. Like I don't know what compelled me to go to that point, but I thought that he killed her. So I started charging him, and he was bigger. He was like in 3rd or 4th grade, and I started punching and clawing and anything I could do. He had a younger brother, and so them two were essentially I was fighting both of them. Mostly the other one was just trying to get me off. Like that was
Wow.
basically it. But I'm like going to town, and my mom happened to be outside, probably gardening again.
Yeah,
And she saw me from down the road, and it was a bit of stretch of road. And so she hears all these kids screaming, and she sees me, trying to get at this kid.
You're supposed to be in the backyard trying to make a rock move with your mind.
Exactly.
How'd you get out?
I don't know. And so she starts running down and like, stop. But that was the last real fight I was in. The only other fight that I was gonna be in was in college, because someone said a racist slur to a friend of mine, and I went livid.
Whoa.
And they stopped me, and it was like we were in public, and it was not worth it. Like when because this person that said the slur was not alone, and they were on bikes and stuff, and it was kind of like you never know who you're dealing with, and
A racist, evidently.
Mm. And yeah, that was the other closest time, because I viewed this person like family,
Yeah.
and so it was, God, it was hard.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. So if anyone were to do something to like Jenna or my sister or my niece or brother-in-law or anything like that, like, or my parents, obviously, or even my pets, like that would push me over the edge. But other than that, I think I'm pretty chill.
Okay, so just go 3 blocks east of Disney.
Right.
Shout racial slurs, and Skyler will find you
I just pop up.
and kill you.
Yeah, basically.
Wow, you're a rebellious human being.
That is
Killer Kai back then. I liked that.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
Thank you.
Actually, I think I'd put $50 on you as an 8-year-old beating another 8-year-old to death. Or just until they went colorblind. Who knew?
I did that to my sister.
You did. Swim! Swimming!
Oh no!
God. Okay, that.
Colorblind, not.
Yeah, I was reaching for colors.
Okay.
Come on.
Okay, of course.
My one last question about Korra. Yes, my last question. JK Simmons.
Mm-hmm.
Do you wish he was your real father-in-law? Because that's what I wish.
Father-in-law?
Yeah. I'd like that. I'd like a relationship where I can see him sometimes, give him a firm handshake, and then on the way home be like, sweetie, I think he hates me.
Yeah, that's good.
That's the life I want with JK Simmons.
I think he'd be a good father-in-law. I don't know how that would relate to Jenna. I don't know.
Sorry, Jenna, you're out.
Yeah. But God, that's such a specific question. I don't know.
Well, he was your father-in-law.
Oh, I understand now.
Yeah,
I thought it was just a.
You were.
I thought we were just thinking of Sonar. I thought we were just thinking of Sonars. Yeah. Okay. We're back.
Oh, we didn't go anywhere.
Huh. So if he were my father, I think it's more so intimidating that he is who he is as like a airbender. They can kick my ass.
Oh, he could.
Yeah, he could. But I dig the tattoos, and I'd want to be like him.
We all want to grow up to be JK Simmons.
Yeah.
Covered in tattoos in the Avatar series, and then also...
Have you seen that behind the... I'm so sorry to interrupt, but have you seen that BTS photo of him, like, ripped?
No.
For Justice League?
No.
Can we pull that?
Pull it up. Alex?
No. He's ripped. That dude is...
JK Simmons?
Yeah.
I was scared of him when he was clapping at the drummer.
Yes.
What's that movie?
Whiplash.
Whiplash.
One of the best
Spooky.
movies.
Scary movie. I liked it a
That's
lot.
a good movie.
A lot of blood. But okay. Skyler, you've done great.
Thank you.
And bless you for coming on the show. I have 2 final questions.
Okay.
And then we're done. And then you're out of here. Because you've spilled so much tea, it's practically a mess. Skyler, we're up to shameless publicity. Where can people find you and where can people watch you?
Yes. You can find me on Instagram at @sbrigmann or Skyler Brigmann. That's kind of basically it. I don't really use Twitter or X, or you can look me up on IMDb, look at my website. Let's work together. I need money. Yeah. But you can hear my work on Netflix, Amazon. Nothing on Disney currently.
Nothing on Disney currently? Paramount Plus, where Nickelodeon is?
Yes, but Korra is on Netflix.
Oh, it's not on both?
Oh, is it?
I don't know.
I don't know. How about if you want to check it out and see, let me know.
Yeah, let Skyler know where you can find his work.
And that's basically it. It's basically just like Netflix, Amazon, Instagram.
It's beautiful.
Thank you.
And if you want to watch the show that I was cut out of completely, Arc the Animated Series is on Peacock?
Okay.
Paramount Plus?
Yeah.
I don't know. One of them.
One of
It
them.
doesn't matter. I'm not in it. Who cares? But if you want to see a well-directed show, then that's also good. Thank you, Wes. Please hire me again. And now, the final question I ask every guest. I've been on his show 12 times. I want him to come on my show just once. Do you have Conan O'Brien's personal phone number?
I knew it was coded. No.
Damn. All right, well.
Oh, Conan
O'Brien. The redhead, tall fellow.
Is he?
Quite tall. In fact,
have you met him?
too tall. Well, yeah, I was on a show 12 times. I've met him. He's very tall. You know that scene in The Simpsons where Bart's in a crib and the clown
No.
bends over him? You've
No.
never seen The Simpsons?
I've never seen, except for when I'm standing in line at Universal Studios. Okay, wait, maybe that's not the greatest thing to say.
Why?
Because they play the episodes.
Yeah, but
during
why
the...
have you not seen the show?
I'm 25.
Skyler, thanks for coming on the show.
No.
No, that's the end. That's it. You think I'm a geriatric son of a bitch who can't even stick around for 3 lines on a series. I see. Thanks for coming on the show. Oh, I've got to press start recording.
No, wait, no.
Oh, what another terrific episode. That was Skyler Brigmann, and if you noticed some harsh cuts, it's because he said some things that could have sent him directly to prison, or at least to plead a case in front of a jury of his peers. But don't forget to come back at the end of this season where Skyler Brigmann submits an anonymous question to a real, honest therapist. She answers his question as well as all the questions submitted by guests this season. And the fun for you will be trying to figure out just who needs the most mental health assistance. And if you say me, you're right. Now I need to spill a little tea of my own, just between me and you. Let's just keep this private, just a little secret. Please don't tell anyone. But please do tell everyone. It's exactly why I'm doing this show. That's right, the one reason is I need attention. Because the more attention the show gets, the sooner I can get sponsorship and wonderful opportunities to make a full-time income based off my creativity. And who doesn't want to hear more of this? And you can actually help me do it. You can help me leave my other full-time non-creative job that makes me want to hold my breath underwater and then take a big breath underwater. But you don't even have to give me any money. That's right. You helping me can be completely free. You just need to scurry on over and make sure it's a scurry, not a run, hop, skip, or jump, and leave a little review and a rating for the show, 5 stars, on iTunes, as well as following me on TikTok and Instagram at Tea with Leigh Podcast. And for bonus points, if you love the show, share it with someone you love. Really make their day. And if you hated the show, share it with someone you hate. Really ruin their day. And if you have any questions, comments, concerns, I certainly don't want to hear complaints, but if you want to spill some tea of your own, you can send it directly to me at teawithleepodcast@gmail.com, and I might even read it out on the air, especially if it's a compliment. So send a bunch of those. Tea with Leigh is hosted by me, Leigh Joel Scott. I almost forgot my name. Although once in an Uber, the driver did say, what's your name? And I said, Leigh. And he said, Leg? And I said, nope, Leigh. And he said, Leaf? And I said, no, it's Leigh. And he said, oh, leave. Anyway, the show is produced by Shannon Ryan in association with Famous Actor Productions. Theme song and additional music by Eric Groisman at Loveboat Sound. The show is edited by McCall Joy Colico and audio engineered by Alexander Reze, with logo and additional graphics by the big, strong, tough, and scary Karen Yang. That's her full name. And with that, good night and good tea.